Danny, listen to me. This woman's life is going to implode if we do this. I can't do that to another Black woman. Oh, I'm the wrong one to say that to. Because all I heard was that he's over 2 Black women. You gonna let him get away with that? He deserves to be exposed. She deserves to know before she brings his baby into the world. I'm telling her, or you better.
Well, folks, this was the, second episode in a row where Karen was not the most divisive character. She was she was at her place doing her own thing, getting the estimations for her salon repairs and whatnot, and figuring out how to get things started doing hair at her place. Wow. Danny definitely has fans discussing her behavior last night. I know going into the episode, I'm like, you know what? Based off the sneak peek, I'm all for Gary being exposed. Like, Danny and those antics, yeah, let's run it. But at the same time, I'm giving her the dirtiest of looks, because that side eye I'm giving her is like, so you're all for exposing Gary's cheating, lying behind, yet you have a whole boyfriend at home, Preston, and you're here on a triple date, drinking and dancing with another man. What kind of foolishness is that? Now, a lot of people say, well, Jeremy, yeah, you're absolutely right. You know, Danny's doing way too much. And the fact that, you know, her house isn't in order, yet she has no problem blowing up or setting another person's house on fire by exposing them. Yeah, that's true. Very true. But another person made a point, well, Jeremy, I think, look, you're right. Danny is messy. She has no right to cast stones. But I feel like there is a major difference here, being like, you know, Penelope's pregnant and engaged to this man. So the core, maybe the title of this video is, does Penelope have a right to know? Personally speaking, I think so. But I think there could have been a number of alternative, more tasteful ways of doing it. That's just my opinion. It's kind of funny because it goes back to Zatima season 1. Remember when Zach and Fatima had an argument, I believe in the season 1 finale, because at the time Zach saw that Nate was in the hot tub with Deja, and his wife Lori was there in the house, you know, with the baseball bat and everything, pissed off, trying to find out where her man was because she knows he's been creeping. Fatima, Zach wanted to keep it under wraps. Fatima wanted to expose his ass on the spot, and that led to the whole baseball bat to the nose thing. Then when they went back inside, Fatima was in her feelings about it because she felt like, oh, so you were going to hide that, huh? You were just going to, you know, protect your friend. And it's like, well, I didn't want Lori to find out like this. And also it's their problem to deal with. But then also, Fatima, how can you sit there and get on my case about wanting to expose Nate to Lori, but you didn't want to tell your friend Angela that her man tried to lock lips with me? Oh, well, that's different. Yeah. Let me know how it's different. And she couldn't say anything. So I feel like the same rules apply here, that let's say if Sabrina or Andy brought up the Preston thing to Danny, she would have been like, no, that ain't got nothing to do with the situation at hand now. I think that, this is just me. I think Danny should not be the one to do it. Now, she did tell Andy towards the end of the episode, because Andy was like, okay, we need to get our stuff and get the hell out of here right now. Danny was like, nuh-uh, I'm not going nowhere. Either you tell her or I'm going to do it. And I'm thinking, like, honestly, I don't think it's Danny's place to do it. She was never in a relationship with Gary. Andy was. Andy was the one, not her. I mean, yeah, it started as an affair, but then they eventually got engaged and they became a couple. Then they broke up a bunch of times. But regardless, Danny has never had a relationship with Gary. That was Andy. So I think that if anyone were to tell, it should be Andy. But It's funny because people were like, yo, Andy just don't know how to play it cool or play a poker face. Hell, I mean, Gary pretended to know he didn't know who she was. She could have done the same thing. Then on top of that, personally, I think the cleanest way to do it, this is just me here. Again, I'm just trying to, say how I would have wrote the situation to be clean, in terms of to kind of make Andy not feel like she has to do the heavy lifting by exposing things. When Gary was first noticed by Jordan, it's like, hey, Jordan, meet Andy. Andy, meet Gary. I mean, yeah, when Jordan was like, Gary, meet Andy. And then Andy, meet Gary. And have we met? And then Andy's like, wait, are you serious? And then Jordan's like, wait, what's going on? Do you know each other? She could have easily just said, we used to date. That's all she had to say if she wanted to say that. And then Gary would have been like, or Jordan would have been like, wait, used to date? Is that true? Yeah, like that was a long time ago. And then Andy could have been like, Jordan could have been the one asking questions like, so wait a minute, like, when did you two date? How recently? Was it recent? Was it a long time ago? And it's funny because I feel like I feel like Gary would have been the one to say it was a long, long time ago. And then Andy would have been like, wow, a long time, huh? And then she could have been like, what, several days ago, Gary, something like that. And then that could have led Jordan to be like, wait a minute, because remember later on when Penelope shows up, it's revealed they've been together 3 years. Jordan would have been like, big brother mode, like, wait a minute, whoa. You were creeping behind my sister's back? And then everything else would have come out. So it wouldn't have been Andy that had to tell everything. It could have been Gary, the one who was put in the hot seat. Because I feel like one of the biggest complaints that fans had about the episode last night, it was a solid episode, don't get me wrong. But it's just that these are adults, and it's like the guys didn't notice how weird the girls were acting. And then, Penelope saw there was some weirdness going on here, but, for the most part, she just went along with it. Oh, it's just girl talk. We chilling. It's like, what was that movie? The Medea family funeral, when the dad died in the hospital, and then Medea's crew, what was it? Medea, Hattie, Joe, Bam, and Brian. I forgot which one of them said it, and I think it was Medea, pretty much hinting towards how they knew how the father died at the hotel. And the children are there, they want to know what's up, and then they just rush out of there. I'm like, no. In real life, ain't no way there's a death in the family. Someone alludes to the fact that they know how it happened, and then they just bounce. It's like, no, you're going to sit down, you're going to tell me what happened. I remember, that if that would have, been revealed earlier in the movie, that would have saved a lot of time. And I feel like that's what happened here. They pretty much stretched things out, as opposed to just saying, okay, Gary's my friend, and you're Andy. I just met you on a dating site, and I really like you, but so do you know each other or not? It's just as simple as that. It just feels like there's just way too much passiveness in Tyler Perry writing to be realistic. This isn't anything new to Tyler Perry writing, but it's just that, it was really highlighted in the last episode. Thankfully, though, the episode did not do what I thought it would do, which was spend too much time at Jordan's place, where for like 36 minutes we would be at Jordan's where everybody's walking on eggshells. Gary, man, why you acting so weird? Nothing, man. I just need to get up out of here. Andy, you're awfully quiet. Oh, no, I'm fine. We just spent the first scene and the last scene over there. But Danny was the one who was really like, you know what? I want all the tea. I want to blow this up right now. Gary, come on over here, man. And again, it's like, Danny, you the last one to try to talk about somebody creeping and whatnot. Like, what if Preston just showed up randomly and was like, hey, Danny, come on over here. Let's talk. Nah, you're doing too much. But the question is, how could things have been done better? Or, Penelope has the right to know. Definitely has the right to know. I don't think it's clear because she thinks Gary is a good dude. She had no idea about Jasmine, allegedly. Wait a minute. Gary got arrested by the freaking FBI. What did she just think he was on a business trip? Because, based off what Leslie said in season 1. Okay. During the mornings, like, wee hours in the morning, Gary would be at Andy's place. Then he would leave to like go to work or whatever, or go back home. And then in the afternoons, he was with this white girl named Tina Rogers. They had like a 3-month thing going on. Then at night, he'd be at home with his wife, Jasmine. But then, of course, he'd get up early saying he's going to the gym, which is when he would go over to Andy's. And he told Penelope that he was on business trips all the time. So that's why she was so adamant that they were going to stay for the dinner or the barbecue as opposed to just bouncing, because Gary was, wanting to get up out of there because, you're always on the road, you're traveling. It's like, I want to spend time with you and my brother. So yeah, I guess it's safe to assume that when Gary was locked away, Penelope had thought that he was on a business trip or something. But you would think with Gary being arrested by the feds, that crap would have been on the TV and whatnot. But then again, that was way back in like season 1 and season 2. I don't think Tyler thought that far ahead in advance, but yeah, it just makes me scratch my head about a few things. Now, Andy didn't want to ruin things with Penelope because, like, look, she's sweet, she's innocent, and she's pregnant. This is not how I want her to find out. And part of me is like, does Andy really care? It's like, I don't want to ruin her happiness. And I'm like, well, you obviously didn't care about Gary's wife at the time, Jasmine, and her happiness, given the fact that you were in a 6-month affair with the man. I guess you could say, Gary kept telling Andy he was going to leave leave his wife. That's true, but that doesn't mean they were divorced yet. So basically, Andy willingly slept around with a married man, wife be damned. So all of a sudden, now you care about the woman he's with and her happiness? You could argue it wasn't about her being selfless, but she could have been selfish in the fact that, she's only doing this because she doesn't want to be exposed. It's embarrassing to her if the guy that she's dating now finds out that she was messing around with his sister's fiance and that he's a scumbag. And I feel like it's a little bit of both. Because on the one hand, Andy doesn't want to ruin another black woman's life, but then Danny's like, well, that man has been playing multiple black women, so I'm about to expose his ass. I don't know. Like I said, I feel like Penelope has a right to know. I don't think Danny would have been the right person to say it because this has nothing to do with her. Now you could argue, Andy, I've been by your side through all this bullshit, and the way Gary's playing in our faces right now, yeah, I don't think Danny shouldn't have been the one. Now, to be fair, she did tell Andy, look, you do it, or if you don't, I'm going to do it. But at the same time, she was like poking the bear all night. It feels like the more she was digging out of Penelope to get tea, I feel like that would have worsened the blow when Penelope eventually finds out. Because it's like, wait, so you girls are just, talking to me all night trying to find things out to kind of make up a timeline of how long Gary's been playing, me and your friend, instead of just telling me outright. So I don't feel like there's anybody who gets out of this scenario clean. They're all going to come out of this dirty. Sabrina even asked questions, so I don't know. Yeah, I feel like Penelope has a right to know. I don't think Danny at all has the right to tell her. Andy, like I said, the best way to do it would have been when Gary first said, do I know you? Yeah, we used to date. And then Jordan would have been asking questions, and then that would have led to, so you've been cheating on my sister, huh? And then Gary would have looked horrible as a result. So by the time Penelope showed up, it would have been like, oh, hey, you're Andy, the one my brother can't stop talking about. Wait a minute, you used to date my fiance? Wait, you were messing around behind my back, Gary? And then, eventually Jasmine, that will come out of the woodwork. So yeah, Andy could have left this clean. Like, it wouldn't have necessarily had to have been revealed that Andy had an affair. The only way that would have been revealed is if Gary said it himself. Andy could have came out of this damn near squeaky clean. But instead, we know that next week is not going to end well because Penelope is going to be yelling like, "What is going on? What do you have to tell me?" And then we know that the girls are going to leave the party. So yeah, there are a bunch of different ways this could have been handled better. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.